Hi everyone! A few months ago, our viewer and friend Debbie from Hawaii gave me some dragon fruit cuttings. Very excited to grow this beautiful tropical fruit here in our garden in Southern California. Now you might have seen our video that we did where we rooted them 3 different ways to see which one would root the fastest. The first being in water on a heat mat, the second being just in water, no heat mat, the third way being in soil outdoors. So I'm here today to give you an update. I've got some bad news, and good news. Which one do you want first? Let's go check out the cuttings. Let's just start with the bad news and get it right out of the way. I'm going to start with the one that I tried to root in water on a heat mat. Epic fail, right? This one completely rotted, turned brown. I've actually had it sitting outside for a couple of weeks, just did not work out on the heat mat. I could slowly see it getting brown and yellow from the bottom up. And that started about 3 weeks into the rooting. So it definitely did not work. I don't know if it was just way too hot at the time. We started this whole process back in October. It was still really hot here, but definitely will not try this one again on a heat mat. However, I did have a couple of other cuttings left. There's still hope for me to have dragon fruit in my backyard. I had 2 other cuttings that I tried to root in soil outside. Now, we're gonna take a look at these. I have a feeling though, these are bad news also. I'm going to pull these out of the soil. We're going to take a look and see if there's any little tiny roots growing. And I actually don't see anything. So let me take a look at the other one. This one, no roots. Now I have a feeling I know what happened with these. In October, November, it was hot. And then at the end of November into December, the weather started to get really cold. Now dragon fruit is a tropical fruit, so it really likes temperatures of 65 to 90 degrees best. We have had nights in the 30s. So I think it just got way too cold for these 2 cuttings. And by the way, if it gets below freezing, dragon fruit will not survive. Now, I do have a bit of good news. There's hope for these. We'll get back to that in a moment. But the third way that we rooted out our dragon fruit was just in a little container of water. It was sitting on a cabinet in my house, out of direct sunlight. And after about a month, look at here, guys, we have got some really nice roots. So very, very excited to see these develop. They've actually been rooting for about 2 months now, and we're gonna go ahead and plant these in soil today. So very excited about this. Now I did change out the water probably a couple of times a week, add a little bit of the Vermistera Vitality to help the rooting go faster. So let's get these babies, let's get this one potted up, and then we'll be well on our way to some dragon fruit in our backyard. So now that this one has some really nice roots established, it's going to be easier to get those roots established in soil. So what I'm going to do here is just dig a little hole in my 1-gallon smart pots, and very gently, so the roots don't break, put the tip of my dragon fruit into the soil. See, those roots are going to go right down in there. And I'm using my DIY seed starting mix, but you can use regular potting soil just as well. And we're going to see how long these roots take to get established in soil before we transplant them into a larger container. But my plan is to grow dragon fruit in 30-gallon smart pots. The nice aeration will hopefully help them grow really well and produce a lot of nice dragon fruit. Now, let's talk about the ones in soil that didn't work out. Now we're going to change some bad news into some good news. Definitely still hope for these dragon fruit cuttings. What I'm going to do is, since I was successful with rooting it in water, I always tell you experiment and see what works out and then adjust. We're going to go ahead and root the cuttings that were in soil at first in water. So what I'm going to do is just rinse these off with my old water here from my original water cutting. And since it didn't work out for them to be outside in the cold, we're going to actually move these indoors, because right now it's December and the weather is pretty chilly, and I'm sure they're going to root just fine in water indoors. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this out. I've got some fresh water here. I'm going to put them in 2 different little deli containers. Grab rooting number 2. Got all the soil off that one. Put it in deli container number 2. And my original cutting took about a month or so to root. So we'll come back in a month or 6 weeks and let you know how it goes. Here I'm putting a little squirt of the Vermistera Vitality. Again, has a natural growth hormone, and it really did help my first one root really, really well. So looking forward to having 3 dragon fruit trees in our backyard. Now what I want you to do is subscribe and follow along our journey with us. If you've grown dragon fruit, if you live in a tropical setting and have access to a dragon fruit cutting, let me know down in the comments. If you have any tips, I would love to go dragon fruit along with you. Head over to our seed and garden shop at CallieKimGardenandHome.com. We're having a 50% off clearance sale on seed collections only. Great time to stock up on seeds with the code WINTERGARDEN, and that sale will run until Monday, December 26th. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.